Bro, we're live right now, so how's everybody doing, Mr. Hip Hop Vegan?
This is a marvelous. What's up? What's up?
Hopefully some of y'all people got to watch our last week's live video. If you haven't, every Tuesdays between 7 and 10, we're going to be making a live video. It might be an hour, a little bit over an hour, maybe sometimes a little bit shorter. Just hitting a couple of topics of what we think is necessary. Some might be controversial, some might be debatable, and some might just be stupid shit that you don't even want to talk about. So, what you guys say, Amor?
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me. Um, open to all topics. There's a lot going on.
So, main topic today we're going to talk about is three people out there in the conscious community, or if you want to put them in the conscious community. First, we're going to touch up on Tariq Nasheed. Um, People, mainly know him from Hidden Colors. And if you knew him from back in the days, he did the Art of Macking, a whole bunch of Macking books, prior to doing his Hidden Colors videos. And we had deep conversations about Tariq Nasheed and if he's doing the whole conscious thing. Is it genuine or like Amar would say, he's a charlatan, just taking, doing it for the money. So, Amar, Tariq Nasheed, what's your opinion about his information and his newfound love of this conscious type information?
Well, I think the Hidden Colors DVD is excellent. I think it's something that's necessary. It's benefited a lot of people. It's wonderful for the children. So, in regards to the Hidden Colors, I think that's an excellent creation, and I support Hidden Colors 100%.
But where's that but in there, man?
No, but Hidden Colors DVD is wonderful. I have absolutely great appreciation for the series, and I think it's reached a demographic that probably has been overlooked or probably couldn't understand similar information otherwise. So I definitely applaud him in regards to putting out Hidden Colors DVD.
Now, do you think Tyreek is genuine about the information
Well,
that he's?
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good?
Let me say this before I answer. It's difficult for me to know what's inside of a person's heart in terms of sincerity and genuineness. So that's a difficult thing. In terms of my opinion, no, I don't. I think he's doing this because it's a new lane and it's open, it's profitable, it's not sanctioned, there's no borders. It's kind of like hip hop. Anybody can dig in and join it, rape it, and do what they do. So I think that personally he's doing it for the money because he said similar comments. If you look at Tommy Sotomayor, he actually did an episode about that where the man said out his mouth, if I win the lottery, there'll be no damn Hidden Colors. I'm out of here. Going to a place where there's basically no black people around him. So, you know, yeah, doing it for the paper, my opinion.
So the words actually came out his mouth. Do you have proof of that? Any videos him saying that, or it just came out of Tommy's mouth?
Oh, I think he replayed the actual broadcast that Tariq Nasheed did saying that. And, people can laugh it off, say he was joking, but I don't think so. I mean, I say that because I'm pretty sure he had access to this information when he was writing the Macking books. And to my knowledge, there's no videos, there's no books, there's no mention of anything conscious. And I even know someone close to me who used to call into the show, and he used to mention the Dr. Valentines and all these people. And he used to pretty much say, yeah, laugh it off and say, get out of here with that craziness. And now certain people and information is in his DVD. So, I personally don't rock with that. I think it is for the money. I think if there was no money in it, I don't think he would be spreading this open knowledge at all.
you know, just ignorant at the time and didn't know, and then a lot of people, through a phase where they just don't know. I mean, the reason why he knew Mackin, that was his lane from the West Coast, and that's what he learned from the people in the streets, taught him. Maybe do you think that people in the West Coast didn't have access to information from you say a Dr. Phil Valentine and like him?
Oh, not at all. I think the oldest black bookstore um, was in Oakland, California. Um, Even Ice Cube has been talking about the nation since the early 90s.
You said the
So
nation, but we're talking about Phil Valentine.
Phil Valentine has been in Cali numerous times. I have lectures that he's done in Los Angeles. Um, so I don't think so. I think the knowledge has been nationwide. I think it's popular now though, when you could see Illuminati and commercials and TV shows and Saturday Night Live. I think it's popular now. It's a lane. It's wide open. People are into it. It's money. So yeah, not at all. I think he's definitely had access to some of the information.
Now, do you really think there's money in the conscious community as far as with the information? Is there really like boatloads of money in your opinion? Because I
Oh,
don't see it.
I think there's a lot of money to be made. If you look at even Dr. Umar Johnson, who to me is wonderful. People want solutions. So anytime you have a solution or something that's practical and not too out there, people will either donate or purchase what you have if you package it properly. So yeah, I think there's lots of money in it.
I just don't think there's money in there for somebody to say, oh, I'm gonna make just doing it for the money. Actually, with his hidden colors, I know he gets donations and stuff like that, but I also believe he put in his own money to come up with the DVDs and stuff like that. So doing it for the money, I can't really I can't agree with you on that one. And I know we talked about it, but I just don't think there's money like that in that community. To tell you the truth, to rape it, like you said, to rape the information and take it and put it out there and package it to the people for extreme amounts of money.
No, I definitely disagree. I think it's more popular now than ever before. I can go on a stupid YouTube video and there's millions of views. People talking about stupid shit like the Illuminati and yeah, it's a wide open lane, definitely wide open lane, and you're gonna see more people um, jump on the wagon. You're gonna see more people put stuff out there purely for profit. And if you take the profit aspect out of it, would people still do it? Would you still teach? I'm not saying you're not supposed to make cash. By all means, get your money, but my thing is always the motive behind it. What's gonna happen when there's a crackdown and it's not popular? Then what? Are we gonna still teach, or we're gonna find another lane? Because
I
I could say
studied
the same Mackin. I don't see a lot of wide open lanes for Mackin. You know what I mean? But
there's
people
a,
still
there's
buy it.
a big community of people who's into stuff like that, like with the game and actually I think it's RNS is I see a lot of Caucasians doing it, not a lot of black dudes that see doing it, but it's a big lane of people making money off the Mackin game, but they just put it in a different they just throw it in a different direction. They throw out the information out there, but it's a whole big community of people just putting out information of what Tariq Nasheed used to have, and I think they just recycling his information now, and they're making millions. I know a couple of people on YouTube who gets millions and millions of views from information like what Tariq Nasheed used to throw in the '90s. So I think it's still a big when it comes to sex or anything. I think it's a big it's just money everywhere when it comes to sex. So I don't think that whole market thing is dying now. I actually think it's bigger than what it ever was. They're just not doing it in the illegal way by putting women in the streets and selling them.
I can't even name three authors that do Mackin. I know there's a seduction um,
Is that
out
one?
seduction genre that white males do, but I can't even name three black men that do macking books at all. Only him.
And he did that back in what, early late '90s, early 2000s.
Right. So I don't even see a big macking genre. You know what I mean?
There,
So
I mean, it's a big community, man. Like I said, they just put a different label on it, really like the psychology of getting women. To tell you the truth,
yeah, I seen that. That's the seduction thing, but that's different than macking.
I mean, so sort of the same way. I mean, some of these people use different tactics and they use psychology to mess with the woman's brain. Isn't it the same thing?
Um, yes and no, because I think when it comes to white boys, like a lot of there's a big industry for seduction. Like the dude that wrote the Power Book, he wrote the Art of Seduction. Um, there's neuro linguistic programming. You know, I think those guys do more of the actual science behind it, and they actually transition to internet marketing. So I think it's slightly different because when I look at those guys, they actually give you stuff about the brain. They actually give you stuff about psychology. I think Ross Jeffries actually had index cards where you actually see what words get into the women's mind. I don't really see too many black men doing that.
It's kind of hard to come up with stuff like that when one person, Tariq, already. I mean, when it comes to Mackin and all that stuff, I mean, Tariq Nasheed comes to mind, and I think he did it when it was more organic. I mean, he didn't need science, he didn't need all that to really his firsthand experience, and I think the experience weighs more than when these people, like you said, the RNS, these NLPs, and they just took it to another level. But I just think Tariq Nasheed did it on the level where it was just more organic, and he actually used the information. He used the information, and that's how he got results by actually taking action.
Now that I agree. I think his Mackin books are legendary. I think they're necessary. They helped me get through college. So I think on that, definitely he has the experience for it. And he even says that he used to do this like regularly. He grew up seeing that. And I just never heard him say anything like that when it came to the consciousness. I never heard him say he's experienced it. I never heard him say he grew up around it. In fact, I haven't even heard, maybe it's because I haven't listened to all of his shows. Um, I heard him say that he was motivated to make it because he's seen, I guess, certain lacks of images and things like that. But I haven't really heard any background to him studying and things of that nature.
He has a pretty big library. If you watch his podcast, he's always throwing out different books. He might not have known it back in the days, but it might take people time to get the information, and he got it. And I think he took it and ran with it. What most people would just try to keep to themselves, he put it together and threw it out there and packaged it and threw it out to the world. Not many people make documentaries to that quality and put it out there.
Yeah, that's in terms of the product, I respect the product, but personally, I think if you subtract the finance in, you wouldn't even see him doing it at all.
He was making a movie. He made a movie, Eugenics. I mean, I think it just. I don't think even if he knew the knowledge and didn't put it out there and packaged it, he still would have been good. He got real estate. I know I watched a couple of videos where he was at different properties buying real estate also. So I think business minded. I mean, I think he said he never had a job in his teen time. So
Yeah, I give him. I mean, personally, I give him props for that in terms of the knowledge and the conscious thing. We could deny it, but it's everywhere now. It's a new lane. He's not the only one that's moved into it. People run out of steam doing other stuff. So as black men, it's kind of like, okay, let me move into this because you can get women just like any other thing. You can get notoriety and popularity. There's groupies in it. So people put the stigma of conscious, but it's no different than anything else. You can move into it and you can make your money and you can get your and you can get your popularity. You know, my thing is always you can always tell the longevity of something based on the sincerity of the person that puts it out. So only time will tell to see um, what will happen. You know what I mean? So I think in terms of him, I don't know. Sometimes it's just instincts and intuition, especially when he said that comment. It just confirmed that I think he just might be one of those people that definitely for the notoriety and the cash, you know, definitely by far.
About the cash, I think he put the information to make money, but I think he's genuine about the information. And then I think using Tommy as a source is, um, they both had beef with each other. They both made videos, dissing each other, and so I think him making that statement and putting the video out there, you still have to see the how he used it. He might have been playing around because a lot of his videos, a lot of his podcasts, he just jokes a lot. So and crucify him, but in my opinion, I think he's doing it for the right reasons.
Nah, unless Tommy made up the voiceover, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't say something like that and just be joking, or say, oh, you would at least say, I'm just playing. I think that's the real deal feeling. And in terms of him having all of these things, I don't know the time frame when he got the books. I don't know the time frame. Was it posted in
I don't think
colors? You know what I mean? Was it like I don't
I don't
know.
think it
It's
matters.
just
I don't think it matters when you had the book, the time frame of when he had the knowledge and the information. Went out there, he did his research, and went out there and started making documentaries about it.
but I think most people say that just because he is making money and people want a pretty package. There's lots of people I was putting this information out there for years, and people will come across the same type of information, if not more, and they wouldn't give the people that put that out there no money at all. You know what I mean? But yet, say, see somebody, people just want to see somebody successful. Then it's okay to learn. But if they see the same people out there putting information and you ask them for $20 because of the time they put in, because I've seen it, these same people wouldn't give them anything because they don't have the pretty package. And I think that's whack.
So I think that's anything that wise. If you're not marketing yourself right, and you might be, you've seen a lot of different areas, and you can do that in sports. You can do that in acting. You can do that in any industry where you can be the best, but some of the people who have the best marketing will win at the end. And I think he just went in the right direction and chose the correct marketing and had the right tools and use his resources. Some people who do this knowledge stuff like to keep it like it's top secret type shit and just show it to a group of people, just to a main group of people, not share it to everybody else. And I think they kept themselves behind because everything was like, oh, I might die because I'm talking about this. So I think a lot of people had fear of bringing information out and producing it to the mass market, in my opinion.
No, that's true. I mean, to some degree. But I know if you bring a Hidden Colors and a Tariq Nasheed and you bring someone else that has similar information, people will choose Hidden Colors and Tariq Nasheed because of the glossy package. The same people, if you put the same information to the same person, um, people will choose one over the other. So I don't think it's all just about being hidden. I think people just like pretty packages, because this stuff has been out there. You know what I mean? So I think people just like to see fancy packages. People like to see stuff pretty. So they'll support that more so than they will something else.
I guess. How about your boy,
I
Mr.
mean,
Boyce Watkins?
years. Farrakhan was out for years. No one could say they haven't heard of Farrakhan. And how many people have given to Farrakhan? That's just one example. You can't tell me he's been hidden. This dude has dinners with heads of state.
Yeah, but Farrakhan is well off.
What did it have to do with the people that have exposure to him? They have stores all over the place, nationwide, and these same people will buy Hidden Colors, but they wouldn't support anything like that.
Life, man. I think that's anywhere in any situation. People do that in any. It's people are not going to spend money where they don't want to spend money. If somebody shows them a shiny product, they'll go to the shining product before they go to the original.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what well, I mean, more power to him. Time will tell. I could definitely, in my opinion, I see if as soon as there's no money in this and stuff can't sell, mark my words, he'll either switch to another lane or
like that, man. I don't think there's
But
in
it is.
my opinion, I don't think
It is. It's like you got whole people that that don't work jobs anymore because they can teach. Like that's never happened before. Before people used to struggle for the information. Now I see it. You got people supporting themselves and family off this stuff, buying Mercedes Benz.
it's
That's never happened before.
the
Never.
is the computer age, man. There's more access to more information. There's more access to more ways of making money. It's the computer age. If it wasn't for computers, it'll be the same way. I mean, it might be a little bit more money, but I don't think there's a mass fortune in this conscious community well, teaching, yes, because you can do lectures and stuff like that, but and there's only a group of small people who really making the most money, just like in any business, it's only a group of people who makes the most money. So I think Tariq Nasheed found his niche and he's running with it, man.
Nah, he's not the only one. I seen someone buy a Mercedes Benz off this, which is good. I think people should get their money. I'm not against people making their money. My thing is with here's the thing with knowledge, right? I think, and I said this before, or just in general, people that don't have money, they will always defend people that don't have money and they aspire to have lots of money, but they don't have it. They always make excuses for the people that do win and do have money, but they'll always shit on people of similar types that haven't made it and doing the same thing. So I say that to say is that you're gonna see more people do it. You're gonna see more
The
people
people
make. Right.
who have the information and don't have the same amount of money, what's the difference? They didn't market themselves. Maybe they're just boring introducing the information.
But who cares? Who cares? What's the point? Is the point's
People
the
care.
information. So who cares? Why would I praise one man for putting a pretty package on something, but shit on the other man that didn't put a pretty package? Isn't the
It's
purpose of you to learn? Isn't the purpose of you to see? But
you
that's
talk
the problem.
you're talking about living in a perfect world, man. And that's not a perfect world.
It's
We're
not
not living.
perfect. That's
You talking about why one person can make it and not the other person. That's life.
But who cares who makes it? I mean that, and that's why the Bernie Madoff shit happens because people, the people love to get tricked and wooed. Oh, look at the pretty package. Look, this person is successful, and then somebody like Bernie Madoff happens, and then they're crying. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. He was so good. He had the pretty package on it. I thought he was genuine, and then people get screwed, and that's why
But
because they see value. They want to see somebody, yeah, he made it. He made it. He made it look better. And then they get jerked. And that's what happens. It never fails. It never fails in that
only a
industry.
small amount. That's only a small amount of people when you think about it in the big picture. It's only a small amount of people who doing other people wrong, who scamming people. Just a small amount of people.
Nah, I don't think so. You hear stories all the time of people that get jerked constantly.
But in the bigger picture, there's more good people than bad people. Am I right?
I mean, that's debatable. That's
I
debatable.
mean,
In terms of different industries, that's debatable. That's debatable. That's the thing. We don't know. We don't know until it happens. But the main point is that it's about the information, which is why I give Hidden Colors credit. But me personally, I'll never put someone above someone else because they got money or they got a better package. That's horrible. That's
that's his intent. I don't think that's his intent that he's better than the next person because he got more money.
no, that's not his intent. But I see people do that. Like they'll defend someone with a pretty package over someone else, and they're putting out the same information. And
But maybe
that's what
somebody worked
the point
harder
is.
to put it
Huh?
out there. Maybe somebody worked harder to put it out there.
Even that's an opinion. When it comes to this, if you're doing something for like 10, 20, 30 years, you can't say somebody worked harder than that man because they got a glossier package. Definitely not. You got people that sacrifice their families to do this.
Okay, and now make and it just happened that he made money off of it. And I don't think in any of his videos he said I'm better than that person who hasn't made the same amount of money.
No,
And
but there's people that think he's better though. There's people like I don't think
that's
I don't think people go this hard for others. Go ahead.
That's their opinion though.
Yeah, it is. It,
Being right or wrong, that's their opinion. You're not going to change their opinion.
nah, I don't want to change the opinion, but I got my opinion, and sometimes like instincts, your instincts just tell. You know what I mean? Your instincts just tell. You just know. You just know. If this wasn't a for-profit thing, certain people wouldn't do it, and eventually, whether it's right or wrong, is going to show. You can't play with this information. You can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. You can't. People think you can, and yay, the money's there, the package is there, but this you can't play with the information. It's impossible. It will come back to bite you in the ass. That's why, if you notice, the longest organizations that exist in the black community, if you look at them, they have been people that the best institutions are those that incorporate mythology, they incorporate a practical plan of economics, and they incorporate some sort of community, period. And all of them never started out for money, whether it's Malcolm, Marcus Garvey, Elijah Muhammad, um, any variations of the Hebrew Israelites. Um, who else? Those are the biggest moral science temples with the Moors. If you look at those four institutions, right? Those four institutions survive the longest. Everyone else, and Dr. York, I have to give him credit. Everyone else has faded. Everyone else that had the gloss and the money, because there were people that were doing it and made the money individually in high amounts. They're out of here. And the only ones remaining are those individuals who had a higher purpose and a higher goal. That's fact.
And what's up with your boy Boyce Watkins? He said he got that watered down information.
Again, these are all my personal opinions. I give everybody credit. This is never something I would say publicly because I would never tear down black man unless they were like a Charles Barkley who's a sellout. These individuals have found a platform. They found an audience. Ironically, now it's the conscious audience.
I don't think it's a conscious audience. Boyce Watkins, I think his audience is regular people, not conscious people. Because he's usually with Dame Dash. He does a lot of stuff with Dame Dash, and I don't think Dame Dash is promoting to the conscious community. I think them two are really promoting themselves. Entrepreneurship people who's into building their own business,
But
and I
Dame
think
spoke about black empowerment, though. Even now, even more so.
that doesn't mean the conscious community. You know,
I mean, I don't like that whole conscious community thing because it's a false community. But in terms of the subject matter, black empowerment, anything to do with the knowledge, definitely. If you look at his titles, you'll definitely see a lot of the titles is there um, to get views. His financial platform is hot, is banging. But once you get outside of that, definitely for views and notoriety.
I don't think his information is watered down either. I think it's information that people need. Uh, um, Literacy because as African Americans are one of the most number one consumers. They have one of the most money and they spend the most money. But the problem is they don't spend their money in their communities. Watkins coming out is teaching people how to use that money in their community, and he's been in the inside working for a white supremacy school. You know, a college. I think he was a professor, and he's seen that wasn't working. So I believe his information is he got firsthand information and really knows his thing when it comes to finances.
Oh yeah, his financial information is on point, 100%. I agree with that. But he talks about stuff outside of finances, right?
Yeah, he talks about white supremacy also.
Right. So that's a little different than the finance aspect. His finance aspect, I got no issues. But how much of the non-finance information was he talking about in corporate America?
Maybe it took him working in corporate America to figure out that this is really still racism going on, don't you think?
Or getting fired?
Didn't he quit himself?
Why did he quit? And when he quit, what happened? He started doing videos, right?
How racist these institutions were.
And
Am I correct?
his platform was more than economics, though. I think it was similar to Tariq Nasheed. It was talking about white supremacy. It was the conscious so-called conscious. I don't like that word conscious, but it was the same platform. It seems to be a trend of people that when stuff doesn't work out, especially black men, and I'm not knocking them for that to some degree, they switch off and then they hop on this.
I don't think it's a hop on something. It's they seen something and maybe they thought a different way. I don't think they jumping on something. They just found the right way of doing the right opinion. They found the right way.
Do you think they would do these videos if there was no money in it? In your opinion, honestly.
I think he has his own businesses. He had money before he started making the videos.
So you think he would right now, if there was no videos in it, no money in it, he would do the videos?
Of course,
Okay,
he had
okay,
he had first hand experience
okay.
in a institution like I believe he worked for Syracuse if I'm not mistaken, and he said that crap like garbage. So I think he has first hand knowledge of these institutions.
Okay. Time will tell.
Get money off the videos. He got a couple of views, now, but
Oh no, he's smart about videos. He's making
yeah,
money off videos, definitely.
investments. Am I correct? If you watch his videos, he talk about his different investments.
Yeah, for sure.
He just found out that white supremacy exists, and he started making videos about it. And since he knows his shit, he can talk about it.
Okay, okay. Time will tell. Like I said, with this information, um, you
There's
can't
no
play.
way. I don't think there's any way he can quit it though. What he's gonna do? All the information I used to make was bullshit. So let me go do something else now. What is? I just don't think there's a. I know we keep going back to this. There's a big pot of gold at the end of this. It's just people with information. They bring it out and it hits. It hits. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay. Again, like I said, with certain types of information, you have to be sincere. I'm not saying they're not. It's my opinion to some degree, but you have to have a sincerity with it because you will be tested. When you talk about certain information, you'll be tested and you will be confronted, and time will tell if they withstand this confrontation and they keep doing it, even if the money stops.
I think but when it comes to, we were talking about Tariq Nasheed and Boyce Watkins, they had money before they started talking about this information.
I don't know what they had.
I think your boy Tariq Nasheed, his book sales and the art of Mackin and all that was pretty big for a black author,
See, that's the thing.
and he's still getting residuals off the books. So and making movies, he has a eugenics. How many people have you seen that made a movie eugenics, and I think it went in theaters
Before Hidden Colors.
before Hidden Colors. I think eugenics came out at the same time as Hidden Colors one.
Right, and it's yeah. I think if you mention the books, I think if you mention the movie, and if you mention all of these things, they came about around the same time.
No, his books came out way before Hidden Colors one.
No, I'm talking about his post Macking. You said real estate. I don't know what real estate he had before Hidden Colors.
I was what? Oh, we can't know that unless he comes down and tell us. But I watched a couple of videos when he was in different areas looking at real estate, and he was actually looking for rental properties. So
Before Hidden
um,
Colors or after?
it was during I think Hidden Colors one or two.
Yeah. See, so we don't know what he had before Hidden Colors. A lot of people can make a lot of moves once something has been happening. Same with Boyce Watkins.
Yeah, but his money, Boyce Watkins had money when he left the school system. He had different businesses. He said, according to him, with videos, he had his. I just don't think the number one his number one bread maker is making videos about what he's talking about for both of them.
No, I mean, once you've established a platform where you talk about something and you gain a following, things come after that, and you could explore more opportunities. We don't know what these people had before they got into this conscious environment. We have no clue. We only know what we say. From what I've read on Boyce Watkins or Wikipedia, he was employed. Unless I missed something, I don't know what businesses he had before he got his platform. I just know he worked for corporate America.
I'm talking about investments though.
Yeah,
He had
I don't know what investments
he
he
had
had.
he talked about he had different mutual funds, different stocks and stuff like that.
Okay, so we don't know on what level he had it.
But I just don't think he jumped into the conscious community to make millions or to make money off of it. He's teaching and stuff like that. I don't know about his lectures and stuff like that, but I think him and Tariq had money before, and for a fact, I think for a fact they had more money when they started doing the conscious stuff, like you would say.
I don't think so. I think he has way more money now with Hidden Colors than before, by far.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
The house that he lives in now in California, he been lived in there before he had Hidden Colors one.
Well, he's from Cali though, right? Well, he moved. He was
Yeah,
living in Cali since he was younger.
yeah, and his house is not an ugly ass house, yo.
His house.
His house
You don't know where he lived before then, unless you've seen pictures.
is one. He was living in the same house he lives in now.
You seen a picture of his house before Hidden Colors one?
He was doing the art when he was doing all the Mackin videos. He had
Uh,
Mackin videos, but he had podcasts when he was living in his house.
But that,
And the area that he lives in LA, I think the homes anywhere around that place is 600K and up.
yeah, but anybody with a job can get that. That doesn't
You
imply
get
he has
for a
money.
certain amount. For a certain amount.
No, I mean that's California. The house prices is like rivaling New York. So
Yeah.
6,000 is like the that's pretty much a start of a house. So we can't, I mean, we can never go on another man's pockets. It's just my opinion. It's just the aura and the vibe, which is something that you can't really, because we don't know what they had prior to these things, unless they've shown it. My vibe and my aura that I pick up from those two is definitely a lane switch, 100% a lane switch.
No way. I have to totally disagree with that, man.
Yeah,
Totally disagree.
I think if you subtract the money from this, definitely Tariq Nasheed. And it's not Tommy Sotomayor saying it. He played the clip from his mouth. So unless he manufactured the audio and faked his voice, definitely real.
But
Definitely.
you talking about Tommy Sotomayor who constantly make videos bashing black women, bashing black men.
Yeah, but I'm not supporting him, but the dude's true to who he is. Like, he's going to do that money or no money. He's going to do that for free because that's his passion. That's what he believes. Period. And you can't fake that. A person like that, if they're consistent, no matter how ignorant he is in terms of self-hate, in my opinion, he's going to get off because he doesn't deviate. You can't do certain things just for a lane switch and your heart's not in it. It's just going to show. It's
You
just
don't
going
know
to,
that. I don't know what you're looking at to say. Oh, Boyce Watkins and Tariq Nasheed are doing it for the money when Tariq Nasheed actually gave money away during the Baltimore riots. Am I correct?
he probably did, 100%.
Money to the St. Louis when St. Louis was going through their thing. Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's not doing it for the money. It's doing it because he actually, I think, sincerely care about the black community.
Definitely, his give back is definitely sincere. But we were talking about switching lanes, not giving.
And and he created scholarships, giving loans to African Americans to open up a business. It was a couple of $1,000s only, but whoever won first place, he was giving them a loan to start up a small business
Yeah,
if they had the correct business plan.
I never knock a give back. But that's still separate from getting into something just for cash. That's a deviation.
It's
That's what
not.
we were talking about.
It's no cash in it, man.
There
It's not like he
is
can.
cash in it.
There's
I promise you. You could do pure math.
there's more cash in the non-conscious, the non-book reading. There's more cash in being dumb than anything else.
And he started that already and switched
Oh,
things.
Still does it though. He still does Mackin videos and stuff like that.
You think he'll come out another Mackin book?
He can. Maybe he's in a different way, you know. But I think he would.
Let me ask you a question. How many total Hidden Color DVDs you think sold? I don't. No, that was out, but after I was doing that though.
No, I'm just joking with you, man.
Yes, I never bootleg anything that taught people. I only bootleg ignorance.
Um, maybe 200K altogether with Hidden Colors 1, 2, and 3.
200,000 copies, right?
Yeah,
And how much each DVD?
I think his was going what 29.99 or 19.99.
So what? How much is that?
You know he had Macish package too, right?
Wait. I'm saying you didn't answer. 200,000 times $30 is how much?
1,000. That's six. That's like what 6 million.
Okay. I don't think he did 6 million off the books at all.
Had that's not counting how much he had to pay the people
Go ahead.
in the video, right? That's not counting the DVDs itself, pressing it. That's not counting the recording time.
How much you think he put in altogether, including how much he had to pay out?
Now, okay, he made good money off of it.
First
I'm
three
not saying.
DVDs, the first three. Let's say 2 million. Is that and that's a lot. I know he didn't pay those teachers a lot of money because they didn't ask for much. I know that for a fact. And I know how much you think he put in the whole process to make those three DVDs. Come on. Because you said there's no
100K,
money in it. $6 million is money.
100K,
Huh?
100K.
Total over three DVDs. So that's profit at least over $5 million. Yes, there's money in it. $5 million is bread.
I mean, that was nothing.
No, you said there's no money in the conscious community. That's $5 million is a lot of money. That is.
You're acting like there's quadruple millions. He also a year like even now he drops Macish package, a package of where he sells boots, shirts, cologne, belts, and it's a package for $100. After that, from his Tariq Nasheed brand,
You mean after Hidden Colors?
before Hidden Colors, during the Hidden Colors.
Wait, was that package before Hidden Colors or
Before Hidden Colors.
right?
If you listen to all his old podcasts, he had something called the Macish package. But you'll get cologne. Even before Hidden Color 1, he has Tariq Nasheed boots you can buy.
And you think
You
think that made a lot of money, the package package?
let's say only 10K times 100.
It's 100,000, right? Or what's that? $1 million? You think he made $1 million off the package package?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, Tariq Nasheed got a following, man, a big following.
Okay.
But I just he's making money in both ways, but I just don't think his thoughts are like I'm going to become this ultra magnetic billionaire off of the conscious stuff and stuff like that.
Now, I never said billionaire. I said a new lane. If a lane dries up, let me ask you a question, right? You're a massage therapist, and if that lane dries up, you're gonna say, okay, what other lane can I get into, right?
Mm-hmm. Any business.
Right. Any business. So if you're gonna do something because you have to make money, then you're gonna switch to a new lane, yes?
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with your passion or whether you care about it. It's just a matter of your skill set and your ability to market, yes? That's business.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with it being pure business, which is what I said. It's a business move, and based off business,
A business
it's one.
that he has a passion for.
Huh?
A business that he has passion for.
Okay. See, this is where we take it too far. I agree.
No, he has passion for it.
It's a good business move.
We talked about Apple the other day when you said that Steve Jobs he wasn't doing it for the money. He was doing it because he loved computers. Am I correct?
Yeah, he was building computers out of his garage.
Yeah. So I mean, Tariq Nasheed, you gonna say Tariq Nasheed doesn't have the passion for the knowledge? And if I'm not mistaken, he gave a lot of he helped out with Frances Cress Wilson too.
She was in a DVD.
One of his favorite person. He always talked highly about her.
Yeah, even before Hidden Colors.
That's what he. I think that's what he started Hidden Color ones because reading the ISIS papers.
Okay, so maybe you're right. Maybe he had no interaction with it all of the years he was Mackin. You're right.
He might, but you know, you see Max who knew the information. They were good at one thing. How many drug dealers you knew that knew the knowledge, and a lot of them are locked up, but they knew the knowledge. Am I correct?
Lots, tons,
Tons. Okay, then. So what's the difference?
tons of them.
Now let's finish it. Let's finish. We can go back and forth with this. Let's finish off with Mr. Dr. Umar Johnson. He's out of all of them. I think I like him because he's straight up with his information. Uh, because it's true. I mean,
What do you mean straight up? That's vague. I don't understand what you mean.
I was about to say it. I was watching one of his lectures talking about the people who go to church. Then he was talking about the Hemotep people, and then he was talking about the conscious people, and he put them all. He was like, "For the church, they tell you that you can only have a good life when you die." Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely.
And then when you talk about like what they call the Hemotep people, the conscious people, they tell you how great we used to be when we were Egyptians. Am I correct?
That I won't comment on.
No, and it's the truth.
I don't.
If you hear any lectures about people talking about Egyptians and everything else, the first thing they tell you is, "Oh, we used to be rich. We used to be this." Am I correct?
But Umar, the same thing. Tariq Nasheed, Watkins, they tell you how good our history was. Everybody that does this with the information tells you how good we used to be. Everyone.
Right now they focusing on the plan. Boyce Watkins is not teaching people about money so they can learn how to start their own business now, because you can't eat Egyptian history.
So then, why do they talk about it then?
They do talk about it, but they don't talk about it no more like that.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of people will give credit to these three individuals and shit on the other people because they're not eating, because they don't have money. But saying it's true. You talk about
kids can't eat that. That's why people go do drugs. That's why people go rob and steal, because they can't eat that information.
Do you know that
what type of information now can you feed the people now so they can go out and create their own money so they can do what they got to do?
people, I love when people say that, because the same information that they're studying come from people that at some point in time in their life didn't eat. Families didn't eat, and they sacrificed that so they can get the information.
That's everybody, though. That's everybody. It's a whole group of people who went through that. White people, brown people, every type of race went through that.
So no, not like black people. So what are we saying then? It's like, okay, we can't eat it, right? And again, I said it. The best platforms are people that mix an economic plan with some sort of mythology. These three individuals, they focus highly on economics. In terms of building a nation, no matter how practical you want to be, if you don't fuse some kind of mythology, and if you don't fuse some kind of philosophy to get people to follow you, economics still won't be enough. It's history. So these same people talking about the past. All three of them talk about the past. Also, all of them.
Dr. Umar talked about it. It wasn't Dr. Boyce Watkins. It wasn't Tariq Nasheed. It was Dr. Umar Johnson who said he's tired of people debating about shit that they can't eat right now. Hungry. No matter where you go to Detroit, you can go to Detroit and tell them today. You can't tell them about history and they say, "Oh, how you gonna eat with that?" You have to promise. You gotta show them how to create something, and people are not creating anything.
You can't show anyone how to create something unless you're a mentor to them, unless you have that direct contact, or you build an organization like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Marcus Garvey that they can plug into in order to uplift themselves. That's history. No individual has done it. They've built organizations. organizations.
Monetized it, right?
What'd you say?
And monetized it?
Did they monetize it? They built an
Yes.
organization for people to monetize themselves.
Okay then.
Right. They didn't just sell products. They wasn't product pushers and benefited individually. Marcus Garvey built an organization where people can join and plug themselves in and feed themselves. The same with all factions of the Hebrew Israelites, the same with the Nation of Islam, the same with the Moorish Science Temple, and that's why they're the only ones left. And everyone that did it individually is gone. So unless these three individuals or build an organization, you can speak all you want about we need to eat and we're practical without an actual organization where people can join, like Polite has. All of that shit is rhetoric.
Umar Johnson's not building a school?
Um, I don't know what he's doing. I'm
Is
saying
he building a
since we want
school?
to talk about practically, unless I see an organization, no one can shit on other people teaching. That's whack. If you don't have an organization where people can join and membership and they can feed themselves, you're no better than the other people that's teaching. You're being a hypocrite.
I disagree. Disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't. I think people just like to see people win, so they give people more credit. You can't feed people without an organization.
Winning, Dr. Umar Johnson is winning because his information is on point.
And that's my point. People champion people that win. So don't tell me about feeding the people. Feeding the people is an organization. That's just facts. Every ethnicity does that. Chinese people have an infrastructure. Every race builds an organization or infrastructure. So if you don't have an organization or infrastructure, you can't shit on him, hoteps, or whatever you want to call them for teaching. It's hypocritical.
Because it's the same. You've been to them lectures where they just talk about shit that doesn't matter. I mean, I watched a whole bunch of them lectures that is people arguing about debating about stupid shit that don't make any sense right now.
But who cares though? There's people that make tons of sense. Just like they're teaching the same shit or other type of shit that benefit, just like Dr. Umar Johnson, just like Boyce Watkins, just like Tariq Nasheed. At the end of the day, whether you're going to see a Umar Johnson or these Imhoteps, no one is going to eat unless you have an organization that's built that people can plug into. And as of right now, the only one that has that is Polite. So big up to Polite. Because out of all of them, he's the only one that has established a language. He's established something that you can join, and he's established something that you can plug into to make money and feed your family. So he's following in the footsteps of all of these nation builders. So everyone else that's dissing hoteps, they're not doing that. So it's hypocritical. It is. That's facts. It's history. It
I mean,
is.
you
It is.
living in. I think it's mostly dream world information, man.
Because people don't want to look at facts. You telling me that the Nation of Islam isn't still around?
Yeah, they still around.
You telling me that the Moors aren't around, the Moorish Science Temple?
Not as big as they used to be.
No, the Moors are huge. They're in like many different states. They're still around.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, they still around.
Okay. And the Hebrew Israelites in different factions. You talking about people that had planes. They had
Talking about,
planes.
talking
Wait,
about them
our nation.
Israelites.
No. But no, there's different factions.
The corner,
Nah,
Brooklyn corner Israelites.
but see, that's what I'm saying. Like you got people dissing Hoteps and they dissing Hebrew Israelites, but Yahweh ben Yahweh and all of these people, they had planes, they had buses, they fed the people. This is a fact. They wasn't going around
Did
benefiting
Yahweh get
individuals.
in trouble for killing people?
But you see what we hate is though. He did more than these individuals that's lining their pockets. These organizations are feeding generations of people to this day. Say what you want about Yahweh ben Yahweh. Say what you want about Dr. York. Say what you want about Elijah Muhammad and Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali. You know what the difference is? These
We
people
were on that.
but all of these people, including Dr. York, what's the difference? They built something. They have something that will feed generations. So until these individuals talking shit about the Hoteps build an organization, them niggas is just lining their pockets. Period. And they won't be around next year. I promise you. if they don't build an
Uh,
organization.
I
They won't.
disagree.
100%. You cannot do this. You can't shit on someone else for teaching and saying that they're dusty hoteps when you don't build an organization. You're a hypocrite. That's hypocritical.
No, it's not.
It
That's
is.
their opinion about it. I
But
mean, how many debates, man? People debate, which is okay, but debates and debates and debates about, and I watch them, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's retarded.
people are again. People defend these individuals because they like the pretty package. Claude Anderson has books. Claude Anderson actually has a foundation in an organization, and he's older than all of them. But yet, every time I see people defend Umar Johnson,
Wasn't he
people,
on Hidden Colors?
people defend Umar Johnson.
Wasn't he on Hidden Colors?
But I don't hear you mention Claude Anderson. Why? Because he's older? Because he doesn't have the glossy package?
We
But
wasn't talking about Carl Anderson. We wasn't talking about, we talking about him right now.
no. Because I brought him up. We talking about it.
Yeah, because
But
it wasn't in my radar right now to
of
talk
course,
about Claude.
he doesn't have the pretty package, right? He's not macking. He's not right.
No, I'm pretty sure he has his finances correct,
Yeah.
on point.
And guess what? He doesn't talk about dusty hoteps. He actually has an organization you could plug into. A real one. He's not just saying that we need to eat and people in Detroit can't eat knowledge. He actually has one.
Bill Valentine got an organization, don't he?
And a school. He's actually has one. He's not talking. It's not a school that's not been built. He actually, in fact, I went to the first one, but that's my point. We don't big up these people because they don't have the glossy package. They're not on the Breakfast Club. They don't have 1,000 videos. And that's what people like to
You
see.
hate, you see, people like, that's when, you know what, when people become mainstream and teach the knowledge mainstream, that's when people start hating.
And when people become mainstream, that's when people love it.
It's a big, and you should be proud of it too. You should be excited that people like that are in people like that are on the Breakfast Club.
And we should be excited that Dr. Valentine has a school. We should be excited that Claude Anderson is as old as he is. And he's,
it's not my fault. They're undercover teachers. They don't become mainstream, and their job is not to become mainstream.
how is it? But his mainstream. He was in the he was advisor to a president. How much
But
is that?
That he's
What?
not.
And he has books. He has national. He has platforms. But I don't hear you or anyone else big enough.
When did you make a video about Dr. Valentine?
Man, come on.
Where's your video?
Come on. I don't have videos on any of these people. I don't comment. I make.
At the end of the day, I'm not saying one person is better because he monetized it and made more money off of it. I'm just saying that what to me, in my opinion, it seems like if they make it to like a Breakfast Club, if they make it to mainstream, they're selling out.
Nah, I never said that, but you are implying that though, because you're mentioning the pretty package. You didn't mention Dr. Valentine at all, even in our conversation. You didn't mention Dr. Anderson. You didn't mention none of these people.
We weren't talking about them. We weren't talking about them.
And guess what? We won't talk about them because they're not.
Dr. Claude Anderson, we can make a video about him.
But we won't because it's not fancy. It's not fancy. He did the same thing as Boyce Watkins. Same thing. True or false?
Probably on a higher level.
On a higher level.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, let me tell you this. Let's bring it down to a martial arts level. Who's the face of martial arts?
Hitman.
No. Who is the face of martial arts?
You didn't expect that answer. Bruce Lee.
Hey, now, was he the best martial artist?
Oh, he's definitely the Michael Jordan of martial arts.
Hell no, you haven't watched the when the dude from man, you have to watch that documentary with them black dudes from LA snatched this shit up.
No. I know where you're going with this. But you asked me.
No,
you asking me about? Go ahead.
Because sometimes the student outshines the teacher.
Nah. Now you're trying to mix apples and oranges.
No, That's in every level, man. Sometimes the student outshine the teacher.
Was Michael Jordan the best player ever to play basketball?
According to all the other best players, yes.
So it's no different with Bruce Lee. It's the same thing.
For him,
And people
the
came
same
before.
with people came before Michael Jordan.
Right.
It just happens that they became more popular. Was Michael Jordan the best basketball player in NBA? Probably, but then you have who played for Streets, and they were saying he's the best basketball player ever.
So it's the same with Bruce Lee. That's my point. It's like until you create an organization, until you create all right, I'll give you another example. I'm gonna piggyback on Bruce Lee. And this is why anyone that doesn't create an organization can't talk shit about other people that teach. I wouldn't care if they did 30 debates. How can I knock, even though some of the debates are childish, how can I knock the debates when those debates that they create, um, they do reach an audience. You know what I mean? They do help some people learn. Now the debates are childish, yes, but I don't think that's a conscious community thing. I think that's New York. If you look outside of New York,
New
this doesn't
York
exist outside.
haters.
It doesn't. New York is just a whack place for this consciousness. But if you look outside of New York, this doesn't happen, does it?
Um, I'm not sure.
See, we don't know. It doesn't. So is it the conscious community or is it New York? People don't look at that. They just talk shit.
We just blame it on New York. Then they ruined everything.
I mean, it is New York. You don't see these niggas debating in Cali or Chicago or Florida. It's only New York because New York is savages, in my opinion. But you have to build an organization. If you're doing,
Yeah,
huh?
watch your back, Umar. Watch your back.
I'm in Brooklyn. I'll say that at the lectures. That's why I don't go to these lectures because they whack. But I appreciate them for what they are. The conversations have to take place, and we allow every other race and ethnicity to fight amongst themselves to get it out. That's what the Game of Thrones is about. So it's no different with us. But all I'm saying is a person like Umar Johnson or anyone that critiques the so-called hoteps or anything like that, they don't have a right to say anything because unless you create an organization, I don't care how powerful your knowledge is, you're lining your pockets and you don't have a right to say anything because you're not going to uplift a mass of people without an organization to plug into. It's impossible.
They have a big following.
No, no, they don't have a they don't they have a following, but not an organization. A following. Two Chains has a following.
He has the potential to reach more people than most people. Am I correct?
Yes, but it has to be organized. If it's not organized, then guess what? You have a bunch of people that know shit and follow a leader, and when you follow the leader, that's disastrous. And that's what Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, and Boyce
Ooh,
Watkins.
don't do that. Don't say it.
No, it's true. It's like you create this leader syndrome. When you say I have followers, that implies a leader syndrome, and that's dangerous. You can't do that. That's why the nation is still around because they have an organization. You could plug into it.
With
So,
one leader.
huh?
With one leader.
Yeah, they have a bunch of leaders actually. They have people that run Temple Number 7 and Temple Number 9.
Yeah, who's the main one who they go to? Farrakhan, right?
Yeah, but so notice the difference though. They go to Farrakhan, but it's no different than um Google. Google has CEOs. They have people that are at the hierarchy, but they have a board of directors and they have different positions that run an organization. Black people,
I think all
huh?
I think all the this conscious people need to just all just get along, man. They don't get along.
Yeah, okay. A lot of ethnicities don't get along. That's why I made that video. It's just that black culture is so open, we can critique it. Chinese people get along all day.
You know their money circulate the most in their neighborhood. It takes 30 days for the money to get out their neighborhood.
That's true. They also didn't have 400 years of slavery, but that is true.
Hey, what that mean?
See, and this is again why when people talk about history isn't nothing, these same people will tell you about post-slavery traumatic disorder. So if the history doesn't mean anything, why are we doing knowledge and lectures based on history and slavery? That's hypocrisy.
Because Black history was more than slave history, wasn't it?
Oh, so you're telling me on one end it's okay to talk about and promote.
No, but at the end of the day, it's good to know the history, but
Okay, okay.
when you and people don't want to eat that though, man. On the real,
But they can eat it when we talk about slavery though, right? Then it's okay. That's what I'm saying, man. It's
all they talk about
hypocrisy.
though. That's all they talk about though is ends 460 years ago. That's when it started. I mean, Black history, they make it seem like it started 460 years ago.
Yeah, but Dr. Umar Johnson in all his lectures, he half the lectures about slavery. So how am I going to diss
It
for
wasn't him
talking
who
about the
said it.
pyramids, but you half your lectures about slavery? Come on, you can't
I
do that.
think when he talks about the psychology of most things, man.
It's the
I
slavery.
think
Is it in the past?
I think he's just tired of people just information out there that you can only be happy when you die. You can only be happy about your history from before. How come we can't be happy like right now? What's wrong with being happy right now?
So then stick to that and say that without throwing shots about
Was his,
Hotep.
that's what was his attempt, and he didn't say hope because that's how Tariq Nasheed talks.
No, but
So
still say that. Say we should be happy now and we shouldn't be stuck in the past and leave it at that. Don't diss other people teaching because then you're a hypocrite. Period.
I just think he's allowed to speak his opinion though.
Um,
He's
that's
allowed. He's black, right?
yeah, but then you're being a hypocrite then because you're talking about history also. You can't eat slavery either.
It wasn't. I wasn't talking about eating slavery.
No, because you mentioned you can't eat the pyramids and you can't eat the past. That's what you said.
Right now, because kids these days don't want to hear that. They want to hear right now and what can we do right now to change everything. And it
And
just
kids
seems like when they start making lectures, it's all about things that we used to be, or how things used to be, or what we could have been, or how come they can't talk about what we can be now.
And kids don't want to hear about slavery either. They don't want to hear about oppression. They don't want to hear about our ancestors. They don't want to hear about none of that. It's the same thing.
Actually, your boy Charlemagne the God said he's tired of slavery movies, and the new Roots are coming out. You gonna watch it?
Um, actually, I'm not, but you should watch it because it's making money. Right? 12 Years a Slave was, Oscar worthy, just like Selma. So you should be loving those.
Amar, I think you're racist, Amar.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of Negroes that I don't like. But my point is, if you're gonna say we should be happy now, don't mix your lectures with the past. Stick to the present.
Their opinion. They can do whatever they want when they make a lecture.
You're right, and it's my opinion that some of these people are doing this for the cash. Not Umar, but definitely the other two.
Well, it's about that time to hit the gym, man. Nice talking to you, man, even though you're racist.
I don't like hypocrisy, man.
Yo, nice talk, man. Hopefully we change the subject up next time to something more uplifting, you know.
Something present that we can eat. It's all about the money. Let's get it.
Tell a dying Brazilian in Brazil about Egyptian history when they ain't got no food in their stomach.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna comment on that. We always go to extremes examples, like extreme
Oh,
examples, but yeah, none of these people talk about the fact that black people are migrating from all parts of the country because they can't afford it. I don't see no economic solution with that. People say invest, invest, invest. Where's the economic plan? They make
make one.
CDs off history, off history. Hidden Colors is history.
That's where you at, man. That's your job.
I can't eat Hidden Colors, can I?
Nope.
That's history.
Tariq Nasheed is though.
Exactly. Hypocrisy shit. But anyway,
Let me be out, man. Nice talking to you. Until next time.
All right. Peace.